Hello and welcome to part 4 of this Why Choose Your Twin Flame Union. This will be the last video for this one. Didn't expect it to be 4 parts, but that's the way that Uranus and my phone have decided to split it up. So I'll just embrace the absurd and go with it. So, as I was saying, what I've noticed, the happiest and most satisfied individuals in twin flame unions and other unions have recognized is that you can choose a relationship for many reasons. Some people choose relationships of convenience. Some people choose relationships because they're afraid to be alone. Some people choose relationships that are completely complementary, that where they don't fight, or they don't feel the need to fight, or there's no ego challenges, no triggers, things like that. And others just get into relationships because it seems like the thing that you do, that they're worried that other people will look at them funny if they're not in a relationship. And likewise, some people choose not to ever have relationships because of all those same reasons. They're afraid that they'll be rejected and left alone, or they're afraid that it will always be fighting and triggering. And and others, it's funny, others choose to go solo because they very much enjoy their time alone and they know they can interact with other humans whenever they want. They don't need or want all of the other stuff in the middle. Now, what I found is that those who seem to be absurdly happy with their relationships actually choose them based on what kind of contrast they want in their lives, rather than on the Beauty and the Beast fantasy or the knight in shining armor or the Prince Charming, stuff like that. They choose them based on what kind of contrast do I want in my life. Do I want someone who challenges me? Do I want someone who I am challenged by because of their own challenges? Do I want somebody who is always affirming me and giving me compliments and giving me all their time and attention and money and things like that? Do I want someone who is always only about me and making me the center of their reality, who I trust infinitely can always love me enough and love me as much as I love them and reciprocate perfectly? Like, when we base our relationships on that sort of a desire, I found more often than not that we're often unhappy. We're measuring what our relationship should look like based on like Disney movie fantasies and fairy tale fantasies, which, I mean, it's fine if you want to manifest that. Though the irony is, in order to manifest that, you need to go through and learn how to be self fulfilling and to not be self sabotaging and to not seek out that fairy tale outcome in relationships. So if you really want the fairy tale, you got to go about it the other way. Though when you no longer need the fairy tale, when you can see it and it's amusing and you're self-loving enough that you know you're totally deserving of that sort of fun and fulfillment in there, though you don't need it, and you look at what kind of contrast do I want? Like, what kind of thing do I want to learn in my next relationship? Or what do I want to learn in my union? Or what do I want to learn in this time alone? Because as I've said in many other videos, you cannot control what other people do or don't do. You cannot control spirit. You cannot control some of the triggers that hit you in the first moments. You can, however, always control what meaning you attach to what happens. And many people do it already by saying, oh, well, I choose my twin because they're the other part of my soul, and I know that this is going to help me grow and things like that. We're already choosing to give a meaning to a contrasting situation that other people would go, oh, hell no. I'm not dealing with somebody who treats me like that. And that must mean that they're not my soulmate and they're not somebody that I want to interact with. Like, we're already choosing right then and there to give a different meaning to a situation that a lot of people put a different meaning to. So you can always control the meaning that you give to something. And for me, and I emphasize for me because this might not resonate with you, or you might find another way to think about it that feels better for you in your heart, in your mind, in your gut, in your spirit. For me, what feels the best the most fun, the most absurd, and the most growth inspiring is to choose my relationships of all kinds, friendships and family relationships, and the relationship between me and my kids, and any other kind of relationship based on what kind of contrast do I want to experience? How do I want to grow next? What is my intention for how I want to evolve over the next year or the next 5 years or the next 10 years? How do I want to look back on and see that things went? And I've had so many fulfilling friendships and dating interactions and things of that nature since I started choosing that. And I definitely encourage any of you watching this who feel called to try it out, give it a try. Like, look beyond the present moment in a different way rather than looking at the anxiety of when will my twin be back, when will I have 3D union, when is 5D union occurred so I know 3D union is coming, and what do I need to look out for and what do I need to be doing. Instead, slow down and look at what kind of contrast do you want to experience over the next year. And also recognize that if within what you want is your twin and your twin flame union, that could manifest in all sorts of different ways. And it's very likely that even just in choosing it, there could be delays in the 3D union because twin flame unions, at least as far as I've seen very consistently, you're not going to have a fulfilling, non toxic 3D and 5D union with your twin until you have both learned self love and to choose genuine love over pain, and to recognize the difference between genuine love and limerence, and to have healed codependency and toxic independence so that you can have a healthy interdependent relationship. And you both have to choose that. And you have to be in a place to where you're comfortable no matter what's going on with your twin in order to allow them in. Because so long as you're missing them, so long as you're focused on what they're doing, so long as you're doing things based on trying to get your union back into place, you're holding it out of place. And so to choose it is, in a way, to choose to delay it and find a way to be happy and fulfilled in the absurdity of embracing the distance and how things come out in the 3D. Because healing, I mean, it can happen overnight, though oftentimes because of our own beliefs and waffles in our vibrations, it can take a lot longer than that. So, just some things to consider. I'm aware that I'm not explaining things to my usual level a lot because of my back and things like that. So, if you have any specific questions, feel free to email me or leave them in the comments below. And if you have any questions just in general, I love to answer them. I'm not always able to get to them very quickly and probably be a little bit slower these days, though I love to answer them. I love to ponder them. I love to just provide things for people to think about. I'm a big fan of, like, my objective isn't to get you to do it my way. It isn't to provide like the one right way to do things. It's simply to give you more to think about, to help you do your own inner work and find your own way to do it. And sometimes that's going to be in complement to mine or others' ways of doing it. Sometimes it's going to be a completely new way, and a way that you can teach others to do, and so they have more options. So make sure that you take in many opinions and look at many pathways and find a way that feels and resonates with your soul and what you feel like is right for you. All right, y'all. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.